Okay. So, it is the day of the heist / investigation / infiltration, whatever you want to call it. You stand before the crow's nest, and this is the time. All right, you've been kind of keying, observing the joint. Seems like now would be, as far as what you saw with the guard patrols and whatnot, you're kind of at a changing of the guards. So you can expect that there's going to be a little bit of congregation in certain areas, and you're going to have other areas that are going to help you to be able to kind of sneak around in the shadows, as that is what your guild's all about. So, Liddy, you have a key that can get you into the side door and a sort of a little map. What do you guys want to do?
I guess first things first is I want to make sure that there's no guards that are posted.
Okay.
Where the key is. Do I see any?
No. So you, like you said, you kind of, the door that you went to where you saw bricks is sort of like a kind of kitchen door. You know, kind of this is where people come in who are doing all of the, cleaning and cooking and everything else. There are many guards at the front gate, probably about like 4 or 5 of them at the front door. There are a few who kind of patrol around the outside, and you do expect there to be some spotters around that you probably don't know about. But knowing the crows, they take things seriously. That said, kind of dim over there by the door, not a lot of visibility. That light kind of flickers a little bit. Grandma's essence doesn't quite make it all the way down to that lamp. So you're going to have a pretty good cover if you're going to try and wander over there, as long as you pick your time right.
So I guess as Liddy, she pulls out the map and she studies it, and then she hands it to the next person to study. Okay. And I was like, okay, guys. So if we go through the kitchens here, if we follow this map, we'll get to Lorik's room. Hopefully.
Yeah.
I'm putting a lot of trust in this map, so... But we at least have the key.
Hand-drawn map, and you have the key. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and set a timer. I'm just letting you guys know.
Okay.
It's going to be an 8-slot timer. And this is for, essentially, we'll just call it alarm. Okay. All right? So basically, as we do things, I'll tell you guys as I'm ticking this one up based on what you've done, so you know kind of like where you're at on alerting the guards, if you are at all. Okay?
Okay.
And yeah, that'll be that.
Okay. So I guess we stick to the shadows and we start moving towards the kitchens?
Well, I guess here's my question as a group. We know about 2 entry points, basically. We know about this door that you have the key to, and we know about potentially ghost fireplace flue that we could potentially climb up or climb down from, right?
But where's the ghost fireplace start at? Like,
it looked like the sewer, right?
Yeah, it's connected from the sewer.
Right, Riven saw it in the sewer. So potentially one could be our entry and one could be our exit, or we could use one or other, but I guess what seems the least likely that we'll get caught? And if we should go with the door.
I feel like the ghost door sewer one feels like a better escape, because I think once we've alerted the guards, it'd be much harder to go down the same path that we came in.
Hopefully we don't alert the guards at all.
Well, I mean, that's the hope, but it seems like if we go a different way back, then we're less likely to get caught.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're thinking we go in through the kitchens. Yeah, we go in the door that you have the key for, we follow the map, and if anything goes awry, we escape through the fireplace flue down into the sewers? Okay.
So that's your preemptive plan.
Okay.
Yeah? Okay.
So we're at a kitchen. This is the crow's kitchen.
Yeah. You haven't entered yet, right? Y'all are just laying out the plan. So I would say, figure out who and how you're getting in there. And is everybody going? Are you doing one at a time? Are you going to go in slowly? Are you going to just barge in? What's the way you're going to get inside here and kind of scope it out?
I could use my fine disguise kit and try to disguise myself as one of the crows.
Okay.
And then just do the whole thing yourself, because I think the idea is
No. I was thinking of maybe as far as entering the kitchen, if I can enter the kitchen disguised as a crow and make sure that the coast is clear, then I can clear the path for you guys.
Yes,
That sounds like a good idea.
I think that's a great sounding idea. Yeah.
And then, what's your signal? You need to have like a long distance signal for us to be like,
Yeah.
It's going to be a crow. I'm going to do a cuckoo, cuckoo.
okay, sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna call that. It was sway because that's the disguise. It comes up in there, and so we're gonna call this one. I mean, we'll call it risky, and the outcome
6.
similarly.
6.
You got a 6?
Yep.
Cool. All right.
Nice.
So, you put on your disguise kit. You guys have been scoping these guys out for several days. You've seen what they wear. You know you can make something that kind of fits in. You go up to the door. You let yourself in with the key. It works just fine. And yeah, you find yourself kind of in the storage pantry area of the kitchen. You can hear some hustle and bustle. As you walk in, there is someone there who's kind of like prepping a barrel and whatnot. Kind of like they look over at you. It's like, don't really say much. Yeah, and I assume you want to kind of survey. What do you want to do?
Yeah, I would like to. I want to sort of take in the surroundings and see. If it's just kitchen workers, then I think that I could probably, get them past and just sort of like, vouch for them. I just want to make sure that there's not like guards necessarily in the kitchen.
Yeah,
and maybe even peek through the door leading into the tower from the kitchen to make sure like what's going on in that room, that we have a point of egress.
Yeah. Okay. I would say, roll a survey.
Okay. So survey, I don't have any points in, so I'm gonna have to take the lower, but let's hope that, okay, a 4.
Okay. Yeah. So and this was a relatively controlled situation. You're just peeking your head out, right? So yeah, you kind of like look around. No one in the kitchen seems to like notice you or anything like that. You peek into the larger entryway, and you kind of get a scope of what it looks like. And think of it as sort of there's a front entrance where people come through, and there's a lot of guards kind of over there, but there's also a lot going on. It's kind of also the tavern area of the tower. It's where all of the rest of the crows come, and they kind of like party and do their thing. And right now they actually happen to seems to be a little bit quieter, to be honest, but there's some people over there kind of like chatting and everything like that. As far as the guards, they all seem to be mostly concentrated over there. There aren't too many over here by the kitchen, and it's kind of dark in the rest of the area. You do notice that up the stairs, where you would probably be going, it does seem like there are maybe some guards going back and forth. You see some shadows kind of moving around up on that kind of like next floor where you think you're probably going to have to go. But yeah, as far as what you were trying to figure out, could you probably sneak people in, probably get them over up to the next area? Feels pretty safe.
So we could probably get to like the landing of the stairs, but going up the stairs into the next floor, we'd probably have to prepare.
And there's a couple of like, there's kind of boxes and things pushed up against the wall. Clearly the place is kind of having some stuff happening. And so, you think you could probably like maybe hide or duck down behind there if you had to. There's enough clutter around. You feel okay where you're at.
Okay. So then in that case, I'll go back to, relay the information, let everybody know the coast is pretty clear.
Yeah.
Up until the stairs, and then we might have to
I didn't hear
plan
a
for what we're gonna do. Oh, that's because the coast is pretty clear.
Is there a dumbwaiter, maybe?
Oh,
Yeah.
Is there like a dumbwaiter that might get us up at least a different floor?
You know what? Let me peek my head in real quick.
Well, let's just go ahead and say no. You looked for it. Yeah, there was a kind of a grate or gate kind of thing in the kitchen. You didn't really know what it was, but then once Liddy mentions a dumb waiter, you're like, oh, it's the waiter for dumb people. That's what that is. So that's what you assume.
Yeah.
Okay, So, yeah, I think there is a dumb waiter. That's what that is. The thing that brings stuff up.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yes,
Perfect.
yes, there is.
Let's go. We're in.
And it doesn't seem like the kitchen staff are really even paying attention. So just like act the part, and I doubt they're gonna bother you.
Okay.
Did you bring extra disguises?
Well, no, I've only got the one disguise kit. I mean, like, unless I went and knocked out some of the crows, but I'm not a one-man army here.
Yeah.
That's
Riven,
Wester's
it's
deal.
all in the swagger. Swagger like a crow. All right.
All right.
So if you want, I will say you could do like a quick flashback finesse to what just happened, and you could say that you took 1, 2, or 3 somethings that were there, outfits or something like that.
Oh, right.
Oh, maybe
But it's
risky. Maybe like acquired a few aprons and chef's hats or something
Sure.
from like a break room in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you
Yeah.
want to, you can roll a finesse on that if you want to give
Sure.
that a shot. Yeah.
Flashback.
Yeah. It's a little risky. It's a little
Okay.
And there could be some heat from this if you get caught.
Yeah, it's not good. I rolled a 1 because I don't have any points in. I don't have any points in finesse. Gotta take the lower one.
Okay, so yeah, you go and you try and like grab some of the aprons and stuff like that, and then one of the waits or the cooks kind of like looks over like, "What are you doing? What are you get? This is my kitchen, and I don't want to see you messing with my things. All right, that is for my staff and not you. Go put on your armor or whatever it is that you need. Get out of here. Get out. Go."
I back away slowly.
Yeah. So yeah, clearly you annoyed somebody with that. All right.
Sorry, guys. I tried to get disguises.
You weren't able to get disguises. The alarm went up, but mildly, just by 1.
So the dumbwaiter, though, can we use the dumbwaiter?
So the dumbwaiter's in the kitchen where there's active staff there?
Yeah, but they didn't seem like the staff were that active. Like, they're there, but they're not really paying attention. We could probably at least take maybe one person up there.
I don't know, like,
maybe one at a time.
how complex is that map that you've got, and how many rooms do we need to move through?
I mean, we always have to go up the stairs.
Yeah.
And there's guards that's guarding the stairs. If we one at a time go up the dumbwaiter, we can at least bypass some of the guards.
Can I do a flashback to when
Sure.
I was looking at the lay of the ghost land, and I did see that the dumbwaiter would take us to the proper area, rather than like dropping us off somewhere where we didn't want to be. So I can confirm that the dumbwaiter will get us to where we want to be to avoid the stairs.
Okay.
Okay.
I will say, I think you got that as part of your attune. That's kind of the information that you got when you were doing that. You just specified that now. Okay.
So then, I guess my concern is we go in there, we use the dumbwaiter, but then the kitchen staff, they see us like start rigging up a grappling hook. Maybe we need to...
Well, there is no grappling hook. You're just inside the little elevator and you go up.
And we're just sending one person up then?
Well, we do one at a time.
Well,
I mean, it's
Dumbwaiter's
mostly
small.
for...
Like, you're not getting more
Yeah,
than
they're
one
mostly for
person in there.
dishes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And food, yeah.
Like a
So if
larger
you do one at a
person's going to
time-
have trouble even going through there. But yeah, potentially you could get in there.
Okay. So the idea, we go in there, one at a time, we crawl inside this dumbwaiter, hopefully the kitchen staff don't see us doing that, and pull us up one by one.
Sounds like a plan to me.
Okay.
that is one
Foolproof.
plan. Yes.
Okay. Do you have other plans? Who's going to do what?
Well, I mean, there's always the stairs as well. I mean, there are guards there, but there would be ways of potentially dealing with them if we think that one by one through a dumbwaiter wouldn't be effective.
I'd say we could try the dumbwaiter thing, but I may go last, and I may just sort of hide in the dusk of the kitchen, and if any cooking staff seems to get a little bit on alert, I might blackjack them.
Okay.
I've also got trance powder on me, which puts people in a hypnotic state. So, like, if anything happened, you can use the trance powder. It makes them calm, suggestible.
See, that might be good as well. But I'd say let's wait to see if needed.
Yep.
So maybe we go. Maybe we go last. Okay.
Okay.
So I guess I'll go first since I also have trance powder. I have a lot of things I brought with me.
Okay.
So my bandolier can hold 3 alchemical items, or basically 3 alchemical items that I can take. And I brought alkahest binding oil, eye blind poison, skull fire poison, smoke bombs, and standstill poisons.
Right.
So.
Okay, so what are you going to do? So you're going to just like walk into the kitchen, or what do you...
Well, he said that there's basically kitchen staff in there, but they're not really paying attention. So I'm going to sort of like...
I'm going to sort of lead you guys to the dumbwaiter as though like you guys are with me. You know what I mean? So just
but like,
act
if we
like...
do it...
Act the part. Act like you belong
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
And then, well, you know, obviously when the kitchen staff are not looking, we open the dumbwaiter and I just sort of hop up onto a counter and I just slide in. And since everything, I'm guessing you said it's sort of industrial, like sort of stuff. I imagine it's gears, like make it go up and down without us actually having to pull it.
It's at least got some sort of
it's mechanical powered, right?
Yeah.
So
sure.
Based on Riven's information, where does it lead up? Like to the very top, or does it go to an area that's secure?
Like Riven said, it'll go to an area that is basically where you want it to be. Like it goes to the appropriate floor.
Yeah.
I wanted to go as high as I can, as close to Lorik's room.
You don't know.
Okay.
So what floor would that be?
Yeah. So well, let's get to there first before we go to that. But yeah, we'll say that's like the 6th floor.
Okay.
So let's say first you're leading everyone in, and yeah, you know, you're not getting a lot of attention. That one cook who kind of gave you some guff earlier kind of like looks over at you and kind of is like starting to be a little annoyed. He's like, "What's going on?"
And I just sort of like I do like a eyes thing, and I point to his food. I'm like, just keep your eyes on your food.
Ooh, okay.
Sassy.
Do you want to call that like a command?
Can I be the one that does that?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. You do it.
Okay.
You're the intimidating one of the crew?
Because you probably have points in command, which I don't.
I do. So yeah, I give him the "this is none of your business" type of look, and ooh, I got a 1 and a 6.
You got a 6. Cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, you do like hey, eyeballs down there, and he very quickly is like and like looks back. All right, you scared him. So as you walk in, so the dumbwaiter, kind of on the back wall, all of the cookery and everything is over here. There is a sort of a giant pantry shelf that kind of blocks most of the kitchen from where you guys are. There is a small like passageway where someone could walk straight from the kitchen to put something into the dumbwaiter, but otherwise you're pretty well secluded back here, at least while you're kind of prepping what you're doing. You're in the dusk. You don't have to worry about anybody seeing you kind of in this back pantry area, as long as you're kind of backed up against that wall. No one seems to be using the dumbwaiter. You haven't seen anybody go for it. So you seem like you're probably pretty good. You would know that machines like this, they do make a lot of noise when they're going. So you would be aware of that and maybe planning for that. But yeah, so what do you want to do?
Like I said, I slip in and I start going up.
So yeah.
Do either of y'all do anything to kind of...
I think while Liddy is climbing into that dumbwaiter, since the whole kitchen staff sort of knows that we're here, we're not really hiding instead. Instead, I just sort of like have my back to Liddy to just provide some cover so that maybe anyone else that walks in or is looking in our direction can't really see that someone's climbing into the dumbwaiter.
Okay. And I will say that your command from earlier, that did also, it made the alarm meter go up a little bit more, you know? Your presence is a little more pronounced.
I have a suggestion I could throw out there, float by you guys.
Yep.
I have my tinkering tools. Included is like a small hammer, pliers, screwdriver, etc. I'm dressed as a crow. I could make it out as though I am repairing this dumbwaiter if we were questioned.
That's what I was thinking we would do if we're questioned, and like if anyone seems like that's an unreasonable thing, you could use trance powder to make them suggestible to that suggestion.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
So do you want to stay? Do you want to go first, or do you want to stay down below?
I'm staying down.
Yeah.
I'm staying down, and like if the noise should attract attention, I could just be like, I'm running it up and down because I want to test it.
Yeah.
Making we're doing repairs.
That's great. I love that. I think that's great.
Yeah.
And we'll say that part of that comes along with your sway roll from earlier. If there's anything noise that gets made and someone comes over and investigates, you'll have to do something about that. But as far as when you came in earlier and you seened the joint, or cased the joint, and you brought out the tools and everything like that, well, honestly, I'm going to say that brings the alarm down one.
Okay.
Because now you're justified for being there. The cook looks over, he sees you, like, oh, okay, he's here to fix the broken thing. Okay, cool. So, Liddy, we're gonna say, I don't know if you necessarily need to roll anything. Yeah. I think we'll just say, we'll roll maybe a finesse, or somebody roll a finesse who's operating the machine, just in terms of like trying not to make too much noise or too much of a racket as you're doing it,
Who's got finesse?
I have a finesse.
I have 1.
Yeah.
I have 0,
have
so one of
0.
you guys should roll a finesse.
We as a
Liddy,
group,
hold on, real quick.
all of us as a group have a +1 as well. I'm pretty sure.
In finesse?
Pretty sure.
You get a +1 to one of the 3. You get to choose which
Right,
one
not all
it
3.
is.
Yeah, because I put mine into prowl.
What were the other 2 options?
It's like prowl, finesse, and maybe sway.
You may add
No,
a +1 action to prowl, finesse, or tinker. Got it.
Yeah,
Tinker.
yeah. So
All
you
right,
pick
I'm
one.
gonna add it to finesse.
Yeah, if y'all haven't done that yet,
Okay.
add
yeah.
a +1 to one of those 3. That's what you get for being in the crew. That's the everybody steals special ability. So Liddy, what if do you have Tinker?
I do have Tinker. I have +2 to Tinker.
If you
perfect.
wanted, you could maybe ply some of your oils or something, maybe to kind of like so the gears don't squeak, so the machine makes less noise. Does that make sense?
Sure. Yeah. Let's do that.
If that's something you want to do.
Okay, I'll do that. I'll got +2. Ooh, a 6 and a 3.
Okay. So yeah, you, as you're about to go up, as they're about to hit the button, you're like, wait. And you kind of, onto the gears that are exposed, you just kind of pour this oil, and now they're going to be a little less squeaky, make a little less noise. So yeah, you get sent up just fine.
Okay.
So, Liddy's perspective, you make it all the way up to the 6th floor on the tower. The door, you kind of open the front of the dumbwaiter, and as you step out, you are in the sort of waiting area in front of Rorik's room. There do not appear to be any guards posted. You can hear a lot of people walking around on the floors below you, but it does seem like this area in particular seems actually pretty abandoned at the moment.
Okay.
So yeah, around you there's a big door that would head into Rorik's room, and then, just like some seats and art and all kinds of stuff. It's as fancy can be here in the Crow's Nest.
Is it just the one door and like the stairway? Or is there multiple doors?
No, it's just like the one door. It's a pretty big area. It's like a whole floor essentially dedicated to this. But then there's also a door, by the stairwell that like would go down to the stairwell. So, it's one of those where like you would come up and you would open the door at the top of the stairs. It's sort of like a waiting area, and then there's the room. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So while I'm up there, I sort of peek around. I also press my ear to Lorik's door just to see if there's anybody in there, just to hear them.
Okay.
Do I hear anything?
Yeah, we'll say you don't really hear anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I basically send the dumbwaiter back down.
Okay.
And while I do that, I'm upstairs and I'm basically pressed up against the stairway, just keeping an eye down there just to make sure that no one's coming up.
Yeah. So yeah, you can certainly hear people walking around down below. You don't hear anybody too close by. Every now and then you hear like the rustling of armor and stuff like that. But it seems a little bit,
Okay.
you seem safe right now. Okay. Riven, I assume you.
Yeah,
Follow
I should
shortly
probably
behind?
go next because I'm not very commanding and I don't have a disguise, so yeah, I'll go next.
Okay, and we'll just say you go up just fine. The oil is still applied. Everything's smooth.
Can I?
Okay.
I would like to, while the dumbwaiter's up, I would like to look down the dumbwaiter shaft and see, does it clearly still go down into what we would assume is the sewers?
Yeah, you look down and, you can't really see super well. It's not like it's lit up or anything like that. But you could make the assumption, like, it does seem to go lower than the ground.
Yeah.
There's a hole and it goes deeper. The dumbwaiter does not go all the way down there, but it definitely does seem to go, there is a gap.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So, Riven, you make it all the way to the top. You
Sweet.
find yourself in the same area that Liddy was in.
Okay, when I get up to the top, I just sort of nod with Liddy, and like I guess we probably would exchange like information on what Liddy's found so far.
Yep.
And then I will put on my my spirit mask,
Okay.
to see what I can see. On
And so
the
that just
other world
allows
side.
you, it sort of gives you like spirit vision, essentially.
Essentially, yeah,
Okay.
and I don't have to attune for it, so I don't have
Okay.
to like worry about stress or anything like that.
I'll say, your character, Anna, you can just sense spirit around you regardless without having to roll. It's more like rolling to get investigative stuff.
The specifics, yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, because you're a whisper. You're kind of attuned to it. And that's also why you don't get like necessarily scared by it.
Yeah.
So, what you can see is, inside the room, Rorik's room, because you can kind of see it through the doorway, like you're seeing beyond it, right? You can see a lot of kind of spirit energy and whatnot floating around in the room. You can also see, it's an echo, but it's kind of hazy. It's like it's fading. And as you know, an echo is going to be more pronounced right after the event, and then it can likely kind of fade. And so you see like a bit of a fade, but you do see Rorik kind of like grasp at himself and sort of like thrash around and then collapse on the ground in his room.
Okay. I relay that to Liddy.
Are you going to try and go in?
No, I'm not going to go in until everybody's here. I think that would be silly.
Are Talker and Wester, are y'all going to both come up? Are you going to stay down? What's the plan?
No, I mean, I plan on going up as long as nothing interferes with us. I figure Wester should go next.
I'll go next, and then I'll send the dumbwaiter back down once I'm done.
Yeah, I mean, and just for brevity's sake, unless anything happens that would stop us, I also get in and we go up to the next floor.
Yeah. I will say that the alarm goes up a little bit simply because you were there fixing the thing and you're just gone. And the people were like, what? What's going on? Why are these people? What was going on here?
For all they know, part of the fixing is that the guy repairing it has to ride the dumbwaiter.
You're just...
Typical.
Some awareness has been raised. Okay, so y'all are all up there. Doors in front of you. Door to your left. You hear people kind of scurrying about, and Riven has relayed the information that you definitely saw an echo in there.
All right. Do you see anyone else in that room that's not a spirit?
I cannot see.
She can only see spirits.
I can only see spirits.
We didn't hear anything in that room, so I'm sure it's safe to go in.
Okay.
And you haven't heard anything the whole time you've been up there. So y'all have been up there for a while.
I have my burglar's kit, which...
Set of lockpicks, small pry bar, vials of silent squeaky... Vial oil does silent squeaky.
Oh, well, that
controls.
would have been helpful. I was wondering if there would be like a mirror in there. I guess there's not a mirror, so... okay.
But I guess, I go up to the door and press my ear to it just to confirm that I don't hear anything.
Okay. Yeah, you don't hear anything.
Okay.
Some wind.
Is the door locked? Is this the door that we need to use Jasmine's, Liddy's key on?
No, the key was for the kitchens.
Okay. Then yeah,
I got lockpicks though if it's locked.
I test the door handle.
Okay. Yeah, it's locked.
Lockpicks.
Okay. What is that a finesse or is that tinker?
That's gonna be a tinker. Modify, disable, or repair. Disable a trap, pick a lock, crack a safe.
Yeah.
I have nothing in a tinker.
5.
Okay. Yeah, you kind of fiddle with the lock. You open it. You don't really meet any resistance, and like no traps are triggered or anything like that. Obviously, you were looking for him while you were searching, but nothing was there. It seemed like pretty straightforward opening of the door.
Cool.
You unlock it, swing the doors open, I assume?
Yep. Well, I mean, not so much swing as carefully crack open.
Okay. You carefully crack open the door. And inside the room, you see a man who looks at you. Who are you and why are you here? What is going on?
I'm the dumbwaiter repairman, here to check the dumbwaiter.
Standstill poison.
What are you doing with the standstill poison?
I pull a pouch out and I unravel it and I throw it in his face. It paralyzes him.
Ooh, nice.
Okay, we'll call that. Gosh, I guess that'd be a skirmish. Let's see. We're gonna call that a skirmish because you're engaging in combat with someone. Yeah. What are you thinking?
Let's go. It's a 5.
Hey, good one. So yeah, you're basically like pocket sand, and you throw it right at this guy who's there, and yeah, he kind of like steams up. And then,
Quick, grab anything, tie him up, gag him. It doesn't last long. Go.
Okay, so I work on a gag, and with my climbing gear, I have a small short rope that I use to tie him up.
Okay. Well, I mean, he is paralyzed, so you meet very little resistance. So you've now bound and gagged this man in this room.
We should also probably blindfold him so he doesn't know what we look like afterwards. Like, he probably had seen us once, but
Kind of too late for that.
it was quick. If we leave him upright, he's going to study us and be able to say who it was.
I'd like to search him. See.
I'm blindfolded.
Okay, you blindfold him. I'd like to search his pockets, see if he's got any identification or just like his. Is he wearing a uniform? Is he wearing anything? Mm-hmm. Is he wearing a CROWS uniform?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh yeah, a very high-ranking one.
Okay.
Question.
Yes.
Do we know what Rorik actually looks like?
Yeah, you would know what Rorik looks like. You would be familiar with Rorik.
Okay.
He would have kind of like big flowing kind of brown hair, probably in his mid-50s. He had a big beard, probably about like this length. And like a handsome dude, but like kind of like severe looking, very stern looking guy.
And just so we're clear, this person is not Rorik.
This person is not Rorik. This is a taller, thinner man, bespectacled, gray goatee, bald.
Any identifying information on him? Maybe like an amulet or a ring that would tell us his name, his family house, that type of thing. Yeah,
I'm wondering if any of y'all would be familiar with the CROWS. Do any of y'all have a history or something like that where you think maybe you would know him? Maybe.
I mean, I probably have seen or know him based on like just dealing with some people. Mm-hmm.
I think that I think that Liddy or Riven could probably roll to try and if you know this guy. Okay. So I would say roll like consort.
Yeah, I got. Oh, nope.
What'd you roll?
Well,
2 and a 3.
2 and 3. All right. So yeah, you have no knowledge of this person. Yeah.
Yeah, I have a 3 as well for my consort. So.
Okay. So yeah, neither of you recognize this man.
Okay.
And that is not helpful information.
Well, what about
I have a 1 on
Talker?
consort. I can try to roll it.
You know information.
You might know it. You might, and people could assist, or you could stress yourself.
1. Nope.
All right.
I mean,
just scratch
so
my
basically, head. what? Okay, you're gonna do it too.
I'll try as well.
All right.
I have a 0.
This is great.
So I rolled a 2 and a 5, so that's a 2.
Okay. So you all rolled poorly. The alarm level is going to go up a little bit. We're at 5 of 8 now, right? Just so you know.
Okay.
Because you guys spent the past 10 minutes arguing over who you think this guy is. You're constantly saying, no, he's not that guy, he's this guy, right? All saying names that you think were associated with the crows. Some of you have been corrected by no, that's not the crows, that's the crabs. They're on the other side of town. So that kind of thing. And after a little bit, you realize, you run out of time. And specifically, like, this guy's like kind of like,
All right. In that case, I would like to, I'll propose anyway, I'd like to ungag him and have someone that's got a knife, maybe hold that to him a little bit and let him know if he shouts, it's going to be bad for him.
I mean, we could also just kill him and then he turns into a ghost and we can talk to him that way because the ghost isn't going to, like,
Not necessarily.
be angry.
Price explained at the beginning that just because a ghost leaves the body doesn't mean it's going to be the ghost of that person.
Yeah. And it doesn't mean that a ghost is necessarily going to leave, and it doesn't mean they're going to want to talk to you. Yeah.
Okay, fine.
I think we should do what we came here, look for other clues besides this one man, because this is obviously a waste of time at the moment.
I think we could do both. I think that we should split up, look for clues, but I do think that this guy might have valuable information.
So as you say that, I do want to say, Riven, I assume you still have your spirit mask on?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So now you do have a much more clear view of the echo, and it's happening kind of over by a table near the there's like a fireplace. There's a table where like he kind of has like his brandy snifters and things like that, a couple chairs.
I go towards it.
Yeah, just to give everybody else the rest of the layout of the room. Nice big kind of area in front of the fireplace where you would kind of have guests. That's where you saw this person as you walked into the room. He was kind of like standing over the table. There's a bed over by a window. The window, fairly big size. It's open, and wind kind of like flowing through the drapery, and and then a big painting on the above the fireplace of Rorik, and yeah, that's pretty much what you're seeing in the room. So. Riven, you're saying you're going to go over and kind of inspect the area?
Yeah. And I'm assuming that's where, like, the echo of Rorik is over by that table.
Yes.
So I'm going to try and sort of investigate the echo a little bit more and see if there's anything else, like, if Rorik is, like, when he clutches onto himself, if there's anything around him of note that I can parse from the echo.
Perfect. Go ahead and roll an attune on that one.
Okay. And then I'm just seeing. And I'm also going to use my special ability because I can add a +1 to gather information about the supernatural by any means. So I'm just going to see what I can do. And that is, I got a 6, 1, and a 4. So that is 6 success.
So you succeed. We will resolve that in a moment. I want to know what you guys are doing while Riven is investigating the echo.
Does the bed have any, like, is there any evidence of the murder in this room? Is there, like, bloodstains and stuff like that? Like, or has it been all cleaned up and this guy's just sort of taking over this room? Yeah,
well, I'll just go ahead and say it looks like they haven't done much cleaning. Everything seems to be a little bit in disarray. Riven could verify for you that, like, the stuff that he interacts with seems to be left where it was. Like, it looks like he sat in this chair. That chair is in the same position. It looks like this, same position.
And like, including like the desk, like the guy that was sitting there, what was he writing? Like, can I go through his notes?
Yeah, you can look. It doesn't. There are some notes kind of laid about. I guess let's say do a survey. Low risk.
Okay. It's a 3. Okay.
So yeah, you're kind of looking at the notes. It's hard to parse kind of what's on there. It's very scribbly. What's up?
Would you say it's a study though? Like, wouldn't that be more of a study and not a survey?
Oh, sorry. Do a study.
I have a 1 to study.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and re-roll that.
Ooh, that's double 6s.
Double 6s.
Ooh, that's a crit.
Critical.
Okay, so I guess let's resolve all this together because it comes together. So, Riven, as you're watching the echo, you notice that it does appear that Rorik was having a heated conversation with somebody. He's kind of like screaming and yelling and just kind of, he's angry at whoever this person is. He points to the door. He's like, get out. You can't hear like the specifics of what they're saying, but you can definitely make out the emotions and the actions, right? And so it's like, get out, right? He turns. He's kind of like shaking his head. He's like head in his hand, and he, picks up his drink and he drinks from it. And then a little bit later, that's when he starts to clutch his chest and kind of fall over, knocking stuff aside, and falls to the ground. And as you're watching, you actually see, after he's dead, you actually see his body kind of flip over. And
By itself?
Yeah, or is seeming
Creepy.
And that's kind of where the echo kind of starts to fade, and then it replays. So as you're seeing that, Liddy, you're investigating these documents that you found, and you can see that there appears to be some records of acts that have been carried out in the name of the Crows throughout town over the past several months. And you can see Lissa's name coming up again and again, and associated with these more kind of violent things that you've seen happen over the past couple of weeks. And it's been hitting the town. People have been aware that the Crows seem to be having some issues before Rorik suddenly was dead. And the other thing that you notice is that at the top of this, it says, notes from the pages of Inspector Effer Lane. Inspector Effer Lane.
I'm sorry? Epper Lane?
Effer, E-P-H-E-R, Lane, L-A-I-N.
Okay.
And you're now remembering where you saw this guy's face, who you guys have bound and gagged, and he's actually a high-ranking member of the investigators, who are those who are tasked with essentially oversight on the blue coats, on the Crows, on everybody, basically making sure everything is up above board, especially when stuff like this happens. He is essentially the Sherlock Holmes of Doskvol.
Great. Okay.
And that's who you've bound and gagged.
Well, good thing we have his notes. So,
And lastly, I'll say this, because you got that critical success, I'm going to give you just a little bit more information about something that you caught out of the corner of your eye. You notice that the glass that he drank from definitely has some kind of like spectral nature to it that you recognize right away. That's poison.
Yeah.
Don't know what it is.
Or Lorik?
From Rorik. The glass that was left behind from Rorik's death.
Ghost poison.
What do? You got a bound and gagged Effer Lane. I've learned there's a little bit more depth to this.
Yeah.
Well, one, we should stop talking to each other. Two, I point out the glass, and I take from my packet, I grab the glass and I kind of swab the spectre oil so that maybe I could study it and see what exactly it is.
Okay.
But I don't take all of it. I leave some of it behind.
Okay.
Because, obviously this guy is an investigator. He probably has already seen this or something like that. So I'm not going to take all of it. And then I look to Riven to see what they're doing, if they're out of their stupor.
And did you tell them that you know who the guy is now?
I grab the notes and I point to his name. I'll be like, Effer.
I'm going to take my
and then I
trans
go like
powder
this.
and use it on Effer.
Okay.
Okay.
And then we don't need to do this quiet stuff.
Okay.
So can I call that a sway if I'm going to use trans powder?
Honestly, with him tied up and bound and gagged, everything like that, you can just throw the trans powder at him. That's fine.
Just right in his face.
Yeah,
Right,
hypnotic.
boom, right in his face.
He's in a suggestible hypnotic state.
And then I just tell him look, this is all a dream, all right? You don't know who we are. You're not going to remember this in the morning.
Oh, by Jove.
He can't talk. He's gagged.
Oh, I assumed that you had taken it off him. So he's like, and he's,
Great.
confused.
All right. So what were you saying, Liddy?
This guy is an investigator. He's Effer Lane.
Oh, crap.
How much investigating did he get done?
Efferlane?
Well, I'm not 100% sure, but according to his notes, he was brought here by the Bluecoats to investigate this crime.
Not just to clarify, not brought by the Bluecoats.
Oh.
Investigators and the Bluecoats are deliberately not joint.
Oh, okay.
So
And
it's
the
like,
investigators oversee. It's like the FBI versus the
FBI,
police.
yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't know how much he's seen already, but there's definitely some foul play here. I don't think he was stabbed. I don't think Lorik was stabbed. I think he was poisoned.
No, I think the stabbing was just a show. Definitely, the echo showed me the same thing. He was poisoned.
So they poisoned him and then stabbed him.
Yeah,
The
to throw them
stabbing
off
is just-
the trace of the poison.
Because he's been stabbed, they can use that dagger to plant it on somebody else. This must have been done by somebody in the Crows.
You think it was done
They
by someone?
stabbed him to make it look as though the red sashes had done this, but in reality, he was poisoned. And who would have cause to poison Rorik? Who would
Who would
gain
have
the
access?
most from poisoning Rorik? And who would have access? Absolutely.
Well, anyone within the Crows had the most to gain. We don't know
Lissa?
who. Well, I'm not pointing fingers to Lissa, but it's obvious.
I'm
Or it's
saying
not obvious, but
if we
it's
had to
possible.
put together a list of suspects, she would definitely be at the top.
Right, because she gains the most from his death.
Particularly when we know that the red sashes are being framed as the murderers. So if there is a war between the Lampblacks and the red sashes, then that only benefits the Crows, right? It'll give the Crows more power in this crew power dynamic.
We don't know any of this for sure yet. And there's still a lot of unanswered
No.
questions. Like, why
But
the hell...
if you're making a hypothesis,
Why would Lissa go through the bother of poisoning the guy instead of just stabbing him outright if that's what she's gonna do anyway?
No, she
Because-
wasn't going to do that. She only did the stabbing thing in order to make it look as though the red sashes were responsible.
Yeah.
The easiest
The stabbing's just a cover for the poison.
Right.
The stabbing, they can hide the dagger somewhere else and be like, that's the person who did it. Obviously, someone within the Crows poisoned them because who else would have access to
So whoever
glass.
poisoned them, why not just stab them?
because
Why?
poisoning.
Because it's a dual purpose. So you kill somebody, right? And they're dead, and that's great, and you get to rise to power. But then you can also control the other factions by putting them at war with each other and get away with murder.
Cool. Again, why not just stab them? Anyway, these are my unanswered questions.
So that you can. The stabbing implies that someone outside the Crows killed him.
They can stab them themselves, murder them with a knife, and then plant that knife on someone else without having to do the
Because
poison.
poison is easier. You have the trust of somebody. You plant the poison in their glass. If you stab somebody, you're giving them the chance to fight back. With poison, there's no fighting back. They're just dead. They trust you. And then they
Also,
drink the
you're
poison and then they die.
Also, you're throwing the people off the trail. They're obviously looking for the more major wounds of stabbing instead of looking at poison, because this could be a poison that they use primarily. There's lots of poisons. Maybe that's their specialty.
I have a lot of unanswered questions here. So,
Riven saw an argument taking place, or what seemed like an argument, correct, Riven?
Yes, for sure, yeah.
Like, who would have such close access to Rorik in his own bedroom, have that much trust in the man, and have an argument that would lead up to him collapsing on the floor dead?
what makes you think that there was trust in it? Like, we have no idea who was in his bedroom.
He was having a discussion which led to an argument, according to the echo which Riven saw.
Yeah, so he had an argument.
If it were,
we don't
if
know
it
that
were an
they trusted
intruder-
this person. What are you talking? You're drawing like false conclusions.
Because if it
here.
were an intruder, why would they allow them to stay in their room and argue without him just calling the guards immediately? If it were an unwelcome person in his bedroom, I doubt that he would give them the time to sit around discussing things.
Can,
Or
Regardless,
to share a drink, because they were sharing a drink prior to that.
See,
Regardless of what we come to a conclusion now, I think our next step is to potentially follow the echoes and see about Lissa's bedroom and see what happens there and see if we can piece together some information of what Lissa was doing during this time.
We don't even know where Lissa's bedroom is. We know where Rorik's bedroom was.
Right.
Do you want to go downstairs and go floor to floor until we find it?
I mean, I don't think we have the time to do that right now.
No, we don't have the time. I think we've overstayed our welcome. We found that he was poisoned, not stabbed. So this blade that we have is completely pointless. Apart from creating a gang war.
Is the investigator still hypnotized? Mm-hmm. I pull down his sash and I ask him, hey, this is still a dream? Who do you think killed Rorik?
Oh, well, that's a really good question. Well, probably Lissa or Belle or any of them.
Any of who?
Did he say Belle?
He said,
Belle of the ball, Belle.
Who is the belle of the ball?
It could have been Owen. I don't know.
Owen?
Yeah, Owen.
is
Okay,
there
these-
like a
are names we don't know.
diary or a journal, like a physical journal in the room?
Oh, so you're not asking him.
No.
Yeah, there are notes and things about. Although it does look like anything having to do. There aren't any documents around other than those that you saw on the table.
Okay.
Just so y'all know,
Okay.
the alarm timer is at 7 of 8.
Okay.
And go ahead. Yeah. Is there anything you want to ask the guy before you guys do what you got to do?
I think we untie him, and then first we find the escape through the fireplace,
Okay.
and then we untie him in his stupor state, and then we slowly leave
Yeah, I think we
without leaving a trace.
we untie him. We get rid of any signs that he was restrained. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's as much as we can do with the last remaining thing that we have.
Okay. So he's still kind of in his stupor as you kind of are letting him back up and everything like that. And actually, he stops for a second, and then he's totally fine. He kind of looks at you all and says, "It was rather interesting, yes. Clever. I appreciate your knowledge of the arcane. I was not thinking about that before, but that's very good. You'll need to be careful escaping from here. You see, the crows, yes, they'll be here soon. I appreciate your help, actually. You've given me a breakthrough. Yes. You'll probably want to go this way." And he walks over and he pulls on a candlestick, as you do. And
Of course.
the painting of Rorik turns to the side, and behind it you see a ghost door.
Sweet.
And
it's so exciting.
he sort of turns back to you. Yeah,
I'm very
and he
excited.
just sort of says, "I don't know who you are, but I know you're not involved in this. But you did give me a little bit of help. Don't worry about taking me out. I know what it's like to investigate. We'll call it even here, because you did help me find what I'm trying to find. Do look me up. I would be curious to ask you some things, but if you don't choose to, that's on you. If you're going to be going down this route, though, I do suggest you look into Owen McCallan. He is the alchemist for the crows. Now, I'm not saying he has anything to do with this, but since you are saying that poison was involved, he would be someone to look into, and well, while I'm an official, you are no one. So, do what you will with that information. I appreciate it. Now, do be going, because they'll be here very soon." And he kind of like looks towards the door. You can actually hear the sounds of people kind of like running up the stairs and whatnot, because you guys started to make a little bit of noise there while you were arguing.
Gotta go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Leave.
Exit
Ghost
stage
key.
left. Yep.
Yeah, I pull out my ghost key and open the ghost door.
Pull up your ghost key, you open the ghost door, and there appears to be a sort of ethereal kind of chute. And it is actually just a physical chute as well. For the rest of y'all, you basically just see what amounts to a giant slide that's very steep. Riven, however,
chute.
Riven, however, assures you that the nature of this and the energies flowing up through it, that you'll actually kind of fall down actually pretty slowly. So you should be safe to just jump in.
Okay.
I jump first.
Okay.
You jump first?
We see her.
And they see you kind of, slowly floating down, making her way down through the chute.
See?
Cool. I jump.
Yep. You jump?
Yeah,
Everybody
we
jump?
Okay.
Okay. All right. So you slide on down into the sewers beneath the crow's nest. You have received some information. Doesn't necessarily solve your problem right now. You still are in the possession of a dagger. And it seems that the crows are none the wiser. And I think that would probably be a good place to stop before we move on to the next one. Heist successful. You got information. All kinds of information.
We got out without leaving a trace.
We did it.
Like
No trace.
Like
It was a good
shadows.
It's a good one. Yeah.
Good job, Price. Thank you.
Yeah. And
that was
I
fun.
I think I'd be down to do some more of this if y'all wanted to, depending on what our next couple of sessions are looking like, but we could explore the rest of this.
Well, now, I mean, since we ended on a cliffhanger, I want to see this whole crows thing resolved.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
So I guess, what do we do in our downtime then?
So so downtime is what would come next. So this is the part of the game that we didn't really necessarily plan on doing and everything. So just a couple of things to lay out there. Timers on gangs and the crews, right? The crows didn't really gain much in this scenario. They're kind of in a holding pattern. The red sashes and the lamp blacks, they kind of, those tensions are rising. So you know that now it's kind of commonplace to see some kind of heavies from both gangs kind of wandering a little more into each other's territory. There's a little more aggression kind of outright that's been happening this week. So there's definitely some heat there. Beyond that, LaRose has gotten in contact with you and is concerned as to why the dagger has not been delivered yet and would like you to speak to him as soon as possible because this is a timely mission. He's clearly irritated. Yeah.
Amencio.
Yeah.
But a lot of time has passed, though.
Yeah, it's been about a week.
Yeah.
It's total, it's been a week of time, which is 6 days in this world, so people know. And so as a result, time moves forward. Things happen. The red sashes are a little irritated. What's her name? Malira Clev has returned. Doesn't seem like anything bad happened, though.
Okay, cool. And then I guess before the next time we actually get together, we can, when we start off next time, maybe we can describe our vices and how we've spent our downtime.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so so we can start next time with downtime and vices as kind of a build up, and I think that'd be good because so people know you engage in your vices in order to reduce your stress, like Darkest Dungeon, and you can do stuff in your downtime, like making stuff for future jobs or going and earning a little bit of money on the side or, getting information, that kind of stuff. Yeah. Whatever you want to do. Working towards your larger goals for the crew. The other thing we'll need for next time is y'all are going to need a lair and a crew name.
Ooh.
Because once Amencio gets you your payment, which he will because you have certainly gotten information like he wanted, you're going to have some stuff to spend it on.
You know what's funny, though, is that he wanted us to get information for the investigators, and we literally just went in and got the information from the investigator and then took it to him.
We do a good job.
Well, we helped each other out.
We got the job done.
We helped each other.
All right.
Right, but we grew along the way.
The investigators were the ones that we bound along the way. All right.